Alcarez talks about his relationship with Sinner. People want there to be friction, but the Mercian tennis player, who will not be at the Canadian Masters 1000, has spoken about his rivalry with the world number one, the Italian Jannik Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz has decided to take a break after winning Roland Garros or Queens and reaching the Wimbledon final. The Mercian will not be at the Canadian Masters 1000 after making the same decision as Jannik Sinner. Number 1 and number 2 in the world are the main absences from a tournament that will also be missing Novak Djokovic and Jack Draper. I love playing tennis. It's my passion, it's what I've chosen, it's what I enjoy, said Carlos Alcaraz in an interview with the Financial Times. However, the Mercian is aware of the importance of finding a balance. In the end, it's like everything else. If you play every day and don't take a break to disconnect, that excitement starts to fade, he added. Carlos will return to the tour in Cincinnati, where he will aim to find good sensations ahead of the US Open, the fourth and final Grand Slam of the season. Meanwhile, the player from El Palmar is finding time to disconnect, have fun, eat, live, and celebrate. And indeed, without excess, he's doing all the things he doesn't allow himself during tournaments. Back to tennis, he explained how he experienced the comeback against Sinner in Paris. I just thought about coming back little by little, 1 point, then another point, then another point, especially those 3 match points against me. Closing out a Grand Slam is very, very difficult, so I knew I would have opportunities. That's why I stayed calm. I knew it wasn't going to be easy for him. At no point did I doubt that I could come back, the Spaniard said. He also emphasized how important it is to show confidence. If your image shows weakness, it's over, you're lost, he stated. And with Jannik Sinner, he has already shared many big stages. In the end, it's many hours, and the Mercian also spoke about his relationship with the Italian. Provocations attract a lot of attention. People really like the idea that there's friction between us. That's what sells. Jannik and I see each other a lot off the court. We talk, sometimes train together, and eventually a good relationship forms, a beautiful relationship. We want to win and beat each other, but off the court, we want to be good people and get along. That's one of the virtues and values of the sport. Finally, Alcarez gave his opinion on social media. Born in 2003, with 22 years and nearly 8 million followers on Instagram, he is a credible and aware voice who offers a reflection worth considering. I use social media a lot, and it's not a very good environment, not to say horrible. They've become a very important work tool, but on a personal level, it's a very ugly world. In the end, nothing there is real. Can a young man of barely 22 surpass the early steps of legends like Federer and Nadal? In the world of tennis, beginnings often make the difference, and Carlos Alcaraz has done more than leave a mark, he's rewriting history. His name resonates not only on the courts, but also in the record books and bank accounts. Today we're going to find out how the young Spaniard, at just 22 years old, has already outshined, in many ways, 2 of the greatest names in world tennis. How does his start differ from Federer's and Nadal's? Stick around and find out. Carlos Alcaraz burst into the professional circuit with a speed and solidity rarely seen. At 19, he was already at the top of the ATP ranking, becoming the youngest number 1 in the history of men's tennis. His ability to adapt to every surface, his privileged physique, and his winning mentality quickly made him a regular contender in the most important tournaments in the world, far exceeding what is expected from a young talent. At just 22 years old, Carlos has already won 5 Grand Slam titles, conquering the US Open, Wimbledon, and Roland Garros. He has also collected 21 titles in total on the professional tour, an extremely high number for someone so young. In contrast, Federer at that age had only lifted his first Grand Slam, Wimbledon 2003, just as his legend was beginning. Alcarez not only has an edge in titles but also in global impact. Nadal's case is a bit closer, as the player from Monaco also started young and won his first Roland Garros at 19. However, by age 22, Nadal had accumulated only 6 major titles and had not yet proven dominant across all surfaces. Carlos, by contrast, has already demonstrated that he can reign on clay, grass, and hard court, something that even Nadal took longer to achieve. That early versatility is one of his trademarks. And it's not just about titles, money talks too. Federer had earned just over $7 million in official prize money by the age of 22. A considerable figure for the time, but now it seems modest compared to the nearly $47 million Carlos Alcaraz has earned in just 5 years as a professional. A leap that reflects not only his talent but also the evolution of tennis into a multi-billion-dollar industry. Besides prize money, Carlos has already become a magnet for sponsors. Brands like Nike, Rolex, and BMW have heavily invested in him, placing their bets on his image as a future sports icon. These multi-million-dollar deals further increase his personal fortune, making him one of the highest-paid young athletes in the world, even comparable with stars in football or golf. What's most impressive is that, despite his financial and athletic success, Alcarez maintains an image of humility and hard work. He hasn't been seduced by the spotlight, but seems focused on improving himself day by day. That attitude is reminiscent of a young Nadal, but with a freshness that is 100% Alcaraz. The combination of talent, results, and mentality makes him a unique phenomenon. Carlos Alcaraz hasn't just made his debut in professional tennis, he's challenging the established narratives of legendary figures like Federer and Nadal. His meteoric rise, impressive track record, and ability to dominate on all surfaces place him in a unique category, worthy of study and admiration. And all this at just 22 years old. While it's true that the conditions of modern tennis have changed, it's also undeniable that Alcaraz's talent is extraordinary. In a setting where many crumble under pressure, he has managed to shine. Comparisons with the greats don't intimidate him, they inspire him. The future of tennis clearly already has a new leader. When does Alcaraz play again? The date of his return to the court. Carlos Alcaraz already has a date for his return to the courts. After losing the Wimbledon final to Jannik Sinner and taking a short break in Andalusia, the man from El Palmar is back in training ahead of returning to competition. His comeback will take place at the Cincinnati Masters 1000, from August 7 to 18, in what will be his first appearance on hard court since the last US Open. Carlos Alcaraz, currently world number 2, has decided not to play the Toronto Masters 1000 to avoid physical risks and focus on being at his peak for the crucial part of the season. A tactical decision agreed upon with his coaching staff, aiming to be fresher for Cincinnati and the US Open. Furthermore, by not defending any points in Canada, he will be able to gain 200 points on Sinner, further fueling his ambition to reclaim the world number 1 ranking. Cincinnati will be Alcaraz's only stop before the US Open, a key event to sharpen his game and fight for his 6th title of the year. The tournament, one of the toughest on the tour, is played on hard courts and is not yet in the Merchants Trophy collection. Its most recent edition celebrated its 125th anniversary with a historic investment of $260 million. The tournament will be broadcast in Spain on Movistar Plus and Tennis TV. It will bring together the biggest stars on the tour, including Jannik Sinner, the current world number 1, against whom Alcaraz could once again face off following the Wimbledon final. A possible revenge match that could set the tone for the battle at the top of the rankings before New York. Carlos Alcaraz admits his indulgences. The Merchant tennis player has revealed how he tries to manage the pressure and the desire to keep competing, week after week, with such a demanding calendar. Carlos Alcaraz has done it again. The Merchant has once more shown his most intimate and personal side. With simplicity, without sugarcoating, and being 100% transparent. Because he's not afraid of what people will say. What works for him, he's not planning to change. It was in an interview with the Financial Times where the Spanish tennis player confessed that he allows himself every indulgence his mind needs in order to keep seeing life for what it is, a gift. And the pressure of a calendar like the ATP's is managed through small indulgences that help him disconnect. I love playing tennis. It's my passion, it's what I've chosen, it's what I enjoy. In the end, it's like anything else. If you play every day and don't take a break to disconnect, that excitement fades. That's why I always try to find moments of fun, of wanting to live. I eat a burger before, during, or after a tournament. I always allow myself a dessert, some chocolate, that's no problem for me. How do I celebrate? Maybe when I go back home. My mom's cooking is always the best, and I drink champagne and Coca-Cola, something I don't do during tournaments. Without going overboard, of course. On another note, he confessed what his real relationship with Sinner is like, the world number 1 and his main rival right now. Provocations get a lot of attention. People love the idea of there being friction between us. That's what sells. Although tennis is an individual sport, we're with the same players every week, day after day. Jannik and I, who have fought great battles on court, see each other a lot off it. We talk, sometimes train together, and in the end a good relationship is forged, a beautiful relationship. We want to win and push each other to be better, but off the court, being good people and getting along is another matter. For me, that's one of the virtues and values of sport. Finally, the man from El Palmar shared his thoughts on one of society's most dangerous weapons today. I use social media a lot, and it's not a very good environment, not to say horrible. They've become a very important tool for work, but on a personal level, it's a very ugly world. In the end, nothing on there is real. People show a life that isn't truly theirs, a face that isn't theirs. Beyond that, there are a lot of people who can hurt you with just one comment. There is no weapon more harmful than words.